विश्व मानसिक दिवस के मौके पर मेबलिन न्यूयॉर्क अभियान चर्चा के तहत भारत की तरफ से 2 बार ओलंपिक चैंपियन रह चुकी गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट बैडमिंटन खिलाड़ी पीवी सिंधु ने भाग लिया।
Last but not least is PV Sindhu. Sindhu is an Indian professional badminton player, 2-time Olympic medalist, 2022 Commonwealth Games gold medalist and 2019 world champion. By winning the gold medal at the 2019 World Championships, Sindhu became the first Indian ever to become a world champion in badminton. Sindhu is also brand ambassador for Mentel New York, and of course the brand is running the campaign Let's Be Brave Together. So
विश्व मानसिक दिवस चर्चा के मौके पर पीवी सिंधु के साथ मशहूर अभिनेत्री आलिया भट्ट की बहन शाहीन भट्ट भाग लिया।
Shaheen Bhatt is a screenwriter and author of the best-selling book I've Never Been Unhappier. Shaheen is also the founder of Here Comes the Sun, mental health awareness campaign to help address the stigma and discrimination around depression and anxiety. Through Here Comes the Sun, Shaheen has also collaborated with Books on Toast to create the Shiny Happy Book Club, a book club that aims at combining reading with mental health and using reading as a therapeutic tool.
विश्व मानसिक दिवस चर्चा के मौके पर लेखक मनोवैज्ञानिक अर्जुन गुप्ता भी मौजूद रहे।
Hi Arjun. Arjun is a counseling psychologist from Hisar in Haryana. He completed his master's in psychology from Ambedkar University in 22. He has written 2 books on mental health and is currently working with a focus on men's mental health. As the founder of Mind Fusion, he works closely with students preparing for competitive exams to train them psychology for the day of the exam and help them vent the stress that they experience during preparations. Thanks Arjun for joining us.
मशहूर कॉमेडियन और एक्टर मल्लिका दुआ भाग लिया।
On stage is Malika. Malika Dua is an actor, writer, comedian. Her work through the years includes shows like Comedy Premium League, Mintra Fashion Superstar, Fake or Not, and Midnight Misadventures. She's also featured in movies like Zero, Namaste England, and Hindu Ki Jawani.
अगर आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर जरूर करें और हाँ, हमें सब्सक्राइब और फॉलो करना ना भूलें ताकि आप देश और दुनिया की कोई खबर मिस ना करें। तो जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ और देखते रहिए।
विश्व मानसिक दिवस के मौके पर बैडमिंटन खिलाड़ी पीवी सिंधु ने मंच को साझा करते हुए कहा कि
Sindhu, I want to ask you to tell us a little bit around the Brave Together campaign and what made you want to be part of it.
Yeah, well, firstly, a very good afternoon to everyone, and really very happy to be here today talking about this campaign. I think nowadays, when people talk about health, it's more of physical health and not about mental. And maybe now slowly it is starting up that people are coming out and speaking about it, which is a good thing. But I think it needs to be in such a way where people shouldn't be scared and take a step back thinking that, something is wrong. I don't think anything is wrong, but I think that is how, a lot of people here have faced a lot of problems in their life. But I think, coming out and telling it or explaining it would be a better thing for them as well, and they will feel better about it. And I feel that when they spoke about this campaign, I felt yes, it is really good. And I know because I've seen my friends who are very close to me facing that problem and they couldn't come out from that. So that is why I think I'm really very happy that I'm doing this campaign, that yes, let's be brave together and come out and speak whatever it is.
मेबलिन न्यूयॉर्क अभियान चर्चा के तहत अभिनेत्री शाहीन भट्ट ने पैंडेमिक आपदा के बारे में अपनी जानकारी साझा करते हुए कहा।
I mean, social media in COVID times was, both a boon and a bane because we spent way too much time on it, but at the same time, it was your one sort of source for connection during the pandemic. And I was lucky. I had family. I was living with family. I had people around me, and I think that really sort of helped keep me going. But it's also then that I realized, more than any other time, how important I mean, honestly, in a lot of ways, how little you need, but also what you need. That connection is so important, and as soon as you sever that, it takes such a massive toll on your sense of well-being. But yeah, social media and FaceTime really somehow it really helped.
वहीं इस मौके पर मशहूर कॉमेडियन और एक्टर मल्लिका दुआ ने लोगों को बताया।
Malika, coming to you, again, as someone who's a public figure, you've spoken openly in your media interactions on facing and dealing with depression, and also the toll it took on your own mental health. Given your vast popularity as an artist, a performer, comedian, how do you manage your own mental health, and while also, of course, balancing your professional goals, expectations, and the need to keep going?
I think firstly, hi everyone. I've now finally, after a lot of years of kind of being uncomfortable with where I was, realized one thing, which is that comedy or social media, etc., is my profession. And we have a tendency to define and describe success only in professional terms. Somehow we just don't count the personal, we don't count the internal. It's like, how are you doing professionally? Yeah, that is success. And I've unlearned that definition, and which is why I have now started to give 50% of myself to my work, and the other 50 I actively try and, what we cutely call self-care these days, I do that. Full disclosure, my sister is a therapist, so mental health in our house was always a very open conversation, luckily. She made it easy for me to kind of seek help, or she never looked at me as, "Acha, this one is a problem child, isko ye hai." Like, we have a tendency to name the problem, right? Like, we don't actually try and fix that. So I think since 2013 I've been in therapy and on and off medication, and that has been something, that's been one of the best things I've done for myself, because we just pop pills for everything, right? But we don't do it somehow there's a big stigma associated with the most vital part of our entire being. So to answer your question, how I balance my work and the changes, the problems that life kind of throws at us, is that I make sure that I give myself that dedicated time, whether it is to do my therapy, what Shaheen said, the regular stuff, you have to do that. It's like, some people just have to do more than others, right? And that's just, and even in that there are degrees. Like, I may have to do less than somebody else may have to, but I have to be extra careful. I have to surround myself with people who don't kind of make me feel like I'm racing against time, or not doing well enough. I have to make sure I don't go too much on social media, even if it is my work, because I think I have to create more than I consume. At least in my profession, that's more important.
वहीं लेखक अर्जुन गुप्ता ने भी लोगों से बातचीत करते हुए कहा कि
Arjun, as a psychologist, but also someone who's spoken about dealing yourself with severe clinical depression in your life, one of the things you've been focused on is actively reaching out to students to talk about mental health and the need to destigmatize conversations around mental health, making access easier. There are many students in the audience today. The current scenario for students can be very, very stressful. It's a very competitive world. There's exams. There is entrances, there is the tension of which college, etc. you'll get into. Based on your own interaction of working with many, many students, can you shed light on some of the concerns that they have and how they can find it easy to access mental health?
Yeah, sure. So I'll come from two perspectives. One was my own personal experiences from when I was severely depressed, and the other from my interactions with students. So on the surface, it might seem like it's very academic, it's very financial, that we want to have a career, we want to have the best colleges, we want to build ourselves. But when you go deep into these conversations, you try to talk to these students more, you realize it's more of an identity issue. Youth at this time, at this stage of their lives, we are trying to understand ourselves, where we are coming from. The lives that we are living, are they our own, or were they the ones that our parents wanted for us? So I remember when I got into MBBS program, I started questioning that, okay, yeah, I got here, but why? Why did I want to be a doctor in the first place? And that was because since childhood I was told that if I became a doctor, I'd be a good son to take over from my dad. And I just started questioning that, and I realized I don't want to be a doctor. I cannot deal with that. That is too intense, that is too much pressure to deal with, and I struggle to say that out loud, because again, men, we struggle to talk about these things openly. So the first is realization, and then talking about it is another step that comes up. So a lot of issues, a lot of concerns, they might seem academic, they might seem like peer pressure, something like that, but it's always about forming our own identity, forming our own ethics, our own morality, and as Shaheen mentioned, having an affect, having an agency of our life, that we are in control of our lives, not our parents, not our friends, not our romantic partners, but we ourselves. So maybe these conversations will lead to that, some reclamation of that agency with time, and that is what these conversations are all about for me.
फिलहाल इस वीडियो में बस इतना ही। ये वीडियो आपको कैसा लगा कमेंट बॉक्स में आप जरूर बताइए। वीडियो पसंद आए तो लाइक करें। हमारे वीडियो लिंक को फेसबुक, ट्विटर, व्हाट्सएप पर अपने रिश्तेदार, यार, दोस्तों को भी शेयर करें। और बेबाक, निष्पक्ष, स्वतंत्र पत्रकारिता को सपोर्ट करने के लिए आप हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल न्यूज ऑल टाइम्स को जरूर सब्सक्राइब करें। और हाँ, बेल आइकन की घंटी वाली बटन भी आप जरूर दबा दें, ताकि आपको हमारे आने वाले नए वीडियो की नोटिफिकेशन फौरन मिल जाए। फिर मिलते हैं किसी और वीडियो में एक नई खबर के साथ। जय हिंद।